Question from James. He says, my wife and I are 29 and have increased our income 150% from 115K to 290K over the last 5.5 years, which is great. But we're always behind on our millionaire next door savings rate, despite saving 33%. How do we stay motivated?
So maybe this is your first time, if you're just tuning in, maybe this is the first time you're hearing this, like, millionaire next door savings rate. What in the world is that? What's that? We have this really cool tool that we make available. You can go to learn.moneyguy.com. It's our net worth tool. And one of the no, you don't have that one. Did you see him jump for it?
I was like, oh my God. The problem is I've added so many sheets over here. I'm like, I'm on call.
I don't think you want to print that one out necessarily. It's very interactive.
Our net worth tool tracks, okay, am I an average accumulator of wealth? Am I an under accumulator of wealth? Am I a prodigious accumulator of wealth? Where am I on what we call the journey to abundance? Well, this problem that James is laying out, based on the mathematical formula that we use to explain how to arrive at your number, is a problem that a lot of our folks who have high income trajectories face. For those of you who don't know, formula is pretty simple. It's age times your income divided by 10. Or if in James' situation, you're someone who is below 40, it's your age times your income divided by 10 plus the number of years until you get to 40, right? So that's the mathematic to figure out, okay, where am I? Am I under accumulator, average accumulator, or prodigious accumulator of wealth? Well, if your income has gone up a ton, but in all the years prior it was a lower income, you probably haven't been able to save based on that income, because that income is artificially pushing up where you should be from a wealth metric. So we think that there's a solution to that might make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, it's a time component. That's why we've tried to address this. Bo already gave it to you. If you're under 40, we've already built in a proration part that every year you get older, it gets you closer to just using the 10 as the formula. But there's another one that's not, and we actually had a lot of debate on this when we were creating the tool, is that if you are somebody who's popped your income very quickly, and you shared 115 to 290, you could take the average of the last 3 years, and that would smooth out the pop in income, because you have two things working against you. You're young and successful. So young means you haven't had enough time to build your army of dollar bills where they've reached that critical mass or boiling point to where they're doing. I know, we all know, we love that. I don't say it well, but it's right. Because like I'm saying, money is building up in the background, but it's not boiling until it reaches that 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And so you might, in your late 20s, you just haven't had you haven't even had a full decade probably for your money to start growing. So you've got your age as well as just having a high income that happened very quickly. Those two things. So we've already addressed it with Bo's adjustment on the formula. And by the way, the tool does that also automatically if you're under 40 years of age. But what we don't have built into the tool is that if you have a trajectory of your income going straight up, you might want to do a average of the last 3 years to get a better understanding of what this, what you should do, because it will smooth out that trajectory slightly.
Now, I'm going to talk to my young folks here, right? I am actually okay with you feeling a little bit behind.
Yeah.
I'm okay, especially if you're a 29-year-old, you and your spouse are making $300,000 a year. I want you to feel a little behind, because it's going to be real easy for you to feel comfortable. It's going to feel real easy for you, like, man, I'm okay. Things are great. Things are awesome. What you need to realize is you have an amazing opportunity to do something pretty stinking incredible at a really young age. I want you to aggressively attack saving, aggressively attack building. So I think it's okay if you have a little bit of that, hey, the wolf is scratching, he's coming, to think about, okay, I'm going to keep saving, I'm going to keep building. I don't think that's a negative motivation, especially for a young, high income earner to have, because far too often I see them get too comfortable too soon because they did a projection and they figured out what the money will be worth when they're 60, but you got to actually get there, right? And so I think that a little bit of motivation is not bad.
Yeah, look, I don't want you to live a miserly life. I want you to go create, bedazzle your basic life and have great memories. So you look back at your 20s, super excited and happy. You look back at your 30s. But for most financial mutants, you're not going to really start feeling really comfortable with that you've reached that boiling point and success until your early 40s. And that's okay, because that's what I just want you to maximize every bit of, if you go to moneyguy.com/resources, we have the money multiplier, of course. If you see how much exponential growth you get in your 20s and 30s, you'll see why you need to be very deliberate with what you spend your money on, but also how much you save and put to work.